Welcome to the latest episode of The Claus Corner. My next guest is an award-winning entrepreneur, author, and in my opinion, the queen of marketing. She was born in Romania and emigrated to the United States in 2013. Her love for her country, Romania, pushed her to introduce her culture, traditions, and food to Americans, which prompted she and her husband to open up Transylvania Restaurant, located at 23 Main Street in East Haven, Connecticut. A recent review stated, "The best way to describe the atmosphere of this amazing restaurant is that you feel like you've come home to the best friends and the best food. From the great waitress who is so friendly and knowledgeable of everything on the menu to the owner who not only has a great smile, but also has the stories that will make you laugh at every single one. The attention to details and the way they make the food so delicious at the same time is just so satisfying that you have to visit for yourself to experience the dreams of these amazing people come to life. We will be bringing back our family, friends, and even a few acquaintances just to enjoy again." You know what? Couldn't have said that better myself. She is also the author of Vladdy and Batty Quest, The Adventures of Vladdy and Batty, which is a children's book that I'm hoping that she will turn into a series of books sometime soon. As you can see, we have a lot to talk about. So without further ado, please welcome Alina Caldaraiu to the Claus Corner. Alina, how the hell are you?
Hi, I'm great. As always, nothing to complain about. How are you, Rich?
I am doing just as great. That's what I love about you. I had you on the show maybe about a year ago, and I've seen you several times. You have the best outlook on life. You're always so happy. You're always so much fun. You're always
Yeah, because you know what? At the end, we all gonna die anyhow. Nobody gets alive out of life, so
exactly. So might as well enjoy it while we're here. And you have
yeah.
definitely been enjoying. You opened a restaurant, I think in 2020, somewhere around there. You and your husband. And since then, that thing has exploded. I'm so happy for you because I love that place. As I mentioned last time, I've been to Transylvania, and I saw it on Facebook. I said, I gotta check this place out, and it blew my expectations away. It's just the atmosphere is great, like the woman said in the review. You have all over the walls. You can, as you're waiting for your food or after the meal, you can walk around and learn the history of Transylvania. You have things you can dress up and take pictures. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, we are definitely unique.
Yes. But before we even get to the restaurants, I want to talk about how that's evolved over the years. I want to talk about the book, Vladdy and Batty Quest, The Adventures of Vladdy and Batty. How'd that come about?
So I always wanted to write a book. Actually, I want to write several books. But Vladdy and Batty, I wanted to create like a little Vlad the Impaler in a fun way that's available for kids. And I used my boys' personalities. My little one is Vlad, and his name is Vlad, and he's 4-year-old. So he's Vladdy in the story. And my oldest one, he's Batty. So Vladdy and Batty are friends, different personalities. The book is more about courage and being brave. And it's about kids. I have 3 little kids, so every time it's a new situation or a new place where we go, they have the fear of unknown. So in the book, the friends are going to the castle, and Vladdy is the one who's always ready for an adventure, and he's convincing Batty to go with him to see Dracula's castle.
Yeah. Well, you brought up a great point, so I did want to bring that up. I said this book is great for children, has great illustrations. It's a nice story, but it also could be useful for adults too, because I love the fact that you're teaching people, like, don't be afraid of new experiences. Get out of your comfort zone. Try something new. Try something different. So it's great for kids, and the story is perfect. And but also adults can learn a lot from this too.
Yeah, I'm currently writing a book for adults. That's I don't want to give you too much information, but that book is based on a true story, and it's a historical book about Vlad's life.
That only means one more thing. You have to come back to the Claus Corner when it comes out.
I can't wait.
So who does the illustrations for you? Because
I sketch the characters like I imagine them in my mind, and I work with a guy from Venezuela. His name is Saul, and he's amazing with graphics, and he uses AI as well. So he used artificial intelligence to create the characters, but they came out exactly how I told him to. So this guy basically picks my mind. I come up with the ideas, and he puts them in practice.
And how did you find him, or how did he find you?
He was a customer, and we were talking at the table, and I told him that I wrote a book, and he was like, "What do you mean you wrote a book?" And I said, I wrote the kids' book. And he's like, oh my God, let's make this book. And I was like, oh, how am I gonna make this book? So he's like, I'm gonna help you. Just give me the book. And I was like, oh my God, he's delusional. I was like, I don't know. I have the character sketch. I don't know how this is gonna work. He's like, I'm telling you how it's gonna work. You give me everything and I'll turn it into a book. And he's amazing. And we work together for a year and a half almost now. He helps a lot with the graphics, with the posters, with the graphics of the menu. So he does a lot of things for Transylvania. We are very happy with him.
Yeah, oh
He's
yeah.
part of Transylvania now.
Yeah, I love it because it came out so great. So the first book, which I bought and I loved, is Vladdy and Batty Make Their Way to Transylvania. What do you have in mind for the future? Like, what other adventures do you see Vladdy and Batty doing?
Yeah, so my 7-year-old daughter, she's in charge of writing the next one.
Yeah.
We are introducing her as a character. She's going to be Natty, and she's going to be a little owl because her name is Nadia, so she chose the name Natty. So the next book is Vladdy and Batty Meet Natty. So she's currently writing the book
I love it.
herself.
You're turning this into a family business.
Yeah, it
The,
is. My daughter is my bigger marketer. Everywhere she goes, she says like this: "You have to go to mommy's restaurant. You have to go there because you're gonna get free hot cocoa for pajama brunch, and you're gonna do this, this, and that." And she's my biggest advertiser by far.
well, you know what? I guess the acorn does not fall far from the tree because, as I mentioned in the intro, you are the queen of marketing. I mean, I'm friends with you on social media. You are always promoting. You're always putting something out there. But again, I said I love your personality. You're always making it fun. Like either you're out there with a shovel, pretending like, oh my God, the big snowstorm is coming, and just letting people know that you'll be closed, or what else is going on. You have all the decorations on the outside for Halloween, for Christmas. It's just. Like I said, she definitely had a great mentor with you.
If I'm not so good with cooking. That's my husband. So I was like, he's good with cooking. I'm good with marketing. Let's open a restaurant. I'm trying to stay with my skills. I think like if you're good at something, you have to take advantage of that and just get better at it. And I think that happened to me. And I also use my dark, sarcastic, dry humor.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
You know?
That's exactly how people describe my sense of humor. So that's why we get along so
Oh,
well.
that's why we get along. Yeah, exactly. Most people gets it. Not everybody, but most people do.
Yeah. Well, I was there last week, and I was watching you go from table to table, and all I heard everywhere you were, I heard tons of laughter. So it's just like you're always just. That's what I mean. When you go to a restaurant, you can get good food at most places, but so you make it along with the atmosphere and along with the great customer service. That to me is even just as important or more important than the food. So you and your husband make a great power couple. He's in the back doing all the food. You're out there um, making friends with all the customers, and I'm sure many of them come back just because of the way you
Yeah,
and you have such a, as the woman mentioned in the review, the staff is just as great too. This one,
yeah.
so
They are. We are blessed. We have great people. We were able to hire, like we doubled the staff last year. So for me, that's my biggest accomplishment. As long as you can give somebody a job,
yep,
that for me, it's my biggest accomplishment, honestly.
yeah. That's what.
And
No,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say I love that attitude because I think sometimes people who come from other countries appreciate what they have here more than people that were born here because they're just so used to it and they think like, life is so hard, life is so bad, and then people like you come over from another country and like you have no idea how good you have it. Appreciate what you have. And I've
yeah,
worked with people from other countries. One was Albanian. She was going. I was a manager of a Rite Aid at one time, and she was just going off on this cashier. You have no idea how good you have it. And the girl's like, I'm sorry, you're right. I do have a good life. She goes, I was out in the field picking cotton. I was doing this. You have no idea. You got it so made here. You're so comfortable. Okay, I'm sorry. And she just put her head down. It was so funny. But I,
yeah. Sometimes it's hard. Like my son, my 9-year-old, he's like every time he's like, oh, throwing food is illegal. You have to remind us about the communist Romania again. I'm like, yeah, I will remind you again and again. And honestly, I tell my kids that we are rich because I think we are all rich here. We have a house, we have food. We basically have more than we need. We are rich. But one time Carlo came from school and he said, Mommy, we need to talk. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened? He's like, well, I don't think you're gonna like this, but I found out that Elon Musk, I think he's richer than us.
I don't
And I
think
was
by much, but
I said, yeah, he's richer than most people, but we are still rich and we have to be appreciated for everything that we have.
you know what though? I bet you if you had a conversation with him and had a conversation, I bet you are much happier than he is. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but I'm guessing that like what you have and the appreciation that you have, you're much happier, and that would make you much richer. So his
Yeah.
his wallet may be a little bit thicker than yours, but
Yeah, could be. I don't care, but I say this to my customers and I say to everybody, we are rich. Like you have to really wake up every day and appreciate life and be happy with everything. One of my best friends, she has leukemia. She's 33. We went to a roller coaster. She has a 3-year old. It was insane. Now, finally, yesterday, she got the test and she's cancer free.
oh,
But
good.
it was a roller coaster that makes you think, it can happen to you. I know most people think like, oh, this will never happen to me or this will not. No, everything can happen to everyone at any given point.
Oh yeah. I mean, perfect example is my brother's wife. She did everything right. She ate healthy. She did nothing. She didn't smoke. She didn't drink. She took all the right vitamins, and then she came. One day she went to the doctor. My brother said, "Your eyes seem a little yellow." She found out she had pancreatic cancer, and she died a couple years ago. So again, it's like you have no idea. And she was young. She was like maybe 52, which maybe when I was like 10, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe how old that is. But now I'm thinking like I'm 57 going, wow, I can't believe how young she was. But yeah, you never know when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. So I have that same mentality. Just
So
have
I think stress, it's honestly one of the biggest killers. So that's why I'm trying to be happy.
yeah,
I'm happy anyhow, but
yeah.
many times people say like, "Oh my God, you're like over the top. You're too optimistic." I'm like, "Yeah, but I have nothing to lose. Like instead of walking out grumpy here, I could just be optimistic. Maybe a car will hit me on my way to work, but that's it, right? I die happy."
I was gonna say, even then you'd probably smile at the guy and go, hey, have a great day. Come to Transylvania Restaurant. You must go.
For
That's
that
your,
guy, I was like, make sure you get your pajama on pajama branch. Bye, sir. Thank you. See you on the other side.
actually, that's a great segue. I want to talk about some of the events you've had, and that's just one of them. Was it pajama brunch on Sundays, or is it every other Sunday, or every Sunday?
Every Sunday. So I got the idea when I took my kids to the train to the Orient Express. And we had hot cocoa in the train and everything. And I came home and I told my husband, "Oh, how about we all dress up in pajama and the customer dress in pajama?" And my husband was like, "What, are you out of your mind? Like, what, do you think people will come in pajama here?" I was like, "No, I'm sure they will. They will just roll out of bed into brunch." And I created bunch pajama. So I posted it the first day. I said, if you come in pajama, you're gonna get a free mimosa. Kids get free hot cocoa. We had like 56 people in 2 hours. Everybody
Wow.
in pajama.
I love it. Yeah, I want to buy some pajamas and stop down some Sunday too. That sounds like fun.
It's a great atmosphere because it's an unlimited buffet for $29. You get waffles, eggs, dessert, meatballs. It's like American and Romanian food, fried chicken, fried fish, a lot of stuff. And then, it's like, it feels like everybody's coming to my house in pajama. We all have mimosas and hot cocoa and we laugh. It's a very, very cool atmosphere on
Yeah,
Sundays.
yeah. Well, and then was it every Wednesday something else happens called Little Monsters Kids Eat Free, bringing an adult. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that. What's that?
That idea, I got it like, well, I have 3 little monsters, right? It's hard to cook every day and do this stuff. So I was like, one day a week, it should be just for kids. One day a week. So I said Wednesday is kids eat free. So kids under 12 eat for free when you order your meal. So the parents have to order a meal and then the kids have to order a meal from the kids menu and then they eat for free. Like, for example, last Wednesday, because I'm home with the kids on Wednesday, I was like, oh my God, everybody was complaining what I'm going to eat. And I look at them, I was like, who wants to? And everybody was like, yeah. So we got in the car and we jumped to Transylvania. I was like, okay, I'll let your dad cook for you. I am not doing this again.
I love it. So you have that on Wednesdays. You have the pajama brunch on Sundays. Now on Saturdays, which I'm gonna tonight when we're recording this right now is a Saturday. I will be there later on this afternoon. What happens then?
I can't wait. We have Steve Savage, which is a magician. We have an in-house magician every Saturday. He's there from 6 to 8. So he goes from table to table and performs magic tricks. Now it's kids friendly, so depends. If he has a table for kids, the magic is a little different. If he has a table for grown-ups, for adults, the magic is a little different. But he's a cool guy and everybody loves him. And he was there for like he comes now for like almost 2 months.
Yep.
So people know him already, and I'm planning to keep him every Saturday. We talk about the fact that he's going to be with us every Saturday for the rest of the year.
I love. Now, was he another customer that happened to be there and started talking to you like, hey, you know what? This sounds like a great collaboration. How'd that happen?
I'm sorry.
No, so how did you meet him? Was he another customer at Transylvania Restaurant and you just happened to be talking to him?
Somebody told me I was looking for a magician actually, and they are hard to find, believe it or not. So somebody told me, it's like, oh, I know a magician, and I was like, oh, okay, can I have his phone number? They gave me the phone number, and from there, first week he was already in Transylvania.
And I want to talk about there's another a mutual friend of ours does more than one event. His name is Charles Rosenay. I've known him since actually it's funny because I met him in 2005 when I went to Transylvania. He runs a Transylvania trip and does so much more. He's a DJ, does all these different things. So I want to talk about how you two started working together and all the different things that he does because I know he does a
Yeah,
lot.
do you really want to hear the story how I met Charles? Is one of the best stories.
I love a good story.
So we were building Transylvania at that time, and we already have a phone number. Our phone number is totally bite you. I chose it intentionally. So my phone rings. I'm like, who's calling me right now? Like we were not open. This was like a month or two before opening, and this guy's on the phone, and he's like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, who are you? He's like, no, who are you? I'm like, oh, my name is Alina. He's like, do you have Transylvania restaurant? Like, I go to Transylvania for the past 24 years. I have a tour to Transylvania. I was like, oh, okay, that's great. So he basically said to me, I am Dracula. And I was like, okay, Dracula, can you just come here so we can meet? Because he's like, I almost had an accident because of you. I'm like, how is that? Because I was driving and I'm looking and I see Transylvania. I'm like, what the heck is Transylvania doing in East Haven? So now I have to meet you. I'm like, oh, okay, come here. He was there like right away, like the same day.
I love it.
Yeah, and we he's a Gemini like me, so you can imagine same dark humor. We were
Right.
laughing and we were like, oh, what can we do together? And we came up with so many ideas that it's insane. Charles is in Transylvania almost every single week doing something. So either he's hosting horror trivia, which is the second Thursday of the month. Horror trivia, we have it for the past 2 years now, and we grew it so big that we have a horror family. We call it the horror family. The people that come to horror trivia and they met there and they hang out together to other events now. We have Monsters Bingo, which is the third Thursday of the month, with Charles as well. We have horror movie premieres, which is, for example, February 1st, we have another movie. We sponsor the Trolley Museum in East Haven, so
Mhm.
we do different events. Last October, we had the alien invasion.
Yes, I
And
was at that.
then, yeah, in December, we had Who Slayed Santa. So both they are kids friendly. You buy tickets, you go in the trolley, and then it's a musical. It's really cool for kids. I take my kids every time I get a chance. So we do a lot of stuff with Charles. I don't even know how many things we do because sometimes I'm Charles. I need a calendar from you. What's happening right now? It's like I have this event. Oh, and we also bring. I call them the Ghostbusters. We bring mediums and people that do paranormal activity. I don't do any paranormal activity in Transylvania, but people come and they tell us stories about the ghosts they encounter in their lifetime.
Did any paranormal investigators ever do an investigation at the restaurant?
No, I'm not letting them
Uh,
because somebody lives there and I don't
uh,
want nobody to bother. I mean, somebody in the spirit life.
yeah, yeah. I have to.
So I don't want her to be bothered.
No, man, I don't blame you. It's bad enough when the people that are living bother you, but when you have the dead,
Oh no, I like better the dead people. I like them because they never usually they never bother me. The living ones are the one who
they
who
probably leave a better tip too.
the dead one in general they want to protect you.
Yeah, yeah.
The dead spirits they just want to protect you. They want to be there for you.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, another great segue was because Charles, I guess maybe because you two, the Gemini thing has something to do with it. I call like he's like the king of marketing. You two are perfect the way you work together. But like I've done several things with him. Like he had me host one of his paranormal conventions in Ansonia, Connecticut. Then I did he has several books out. One of them was called True Ghost Stories of Connecticut. So he had me write a story for that. He just messaged me. He goes, Rich, do you have another story for the book two that's coming out? I said, yep. So I just sent him the final draft yesterday. So yeah, I love the fact that he's given me so many opportunities to do so many different things because he always has his hand in something like paranormal, traveling to England, going to Transylvania, doing like you mentioned, horror bingo, horror trivia, which I have to remember this in advance because I live about an hour away from your restaurant, and by the time I get out of work, I would never make it, but I would be there every night if I could because you always have something going on. I have to look in advance so I can start taking days off. Say, nope, I can't make it to work that day. I got something, horror bingo that night.
Yeah, you have to make it for horror bingo sometimes.
Oh my God, yeah. And trivia, I love trivia, and especially horror movies. I know I would do very well. I would fit right in with the horror family. I know that.
Yeah, sometimes he just stops me. I have my hands full with drinks. He's like, Alina, can you answer this question? I'm like, I can, yes.
I love it. You will now. When is that again? I know it's once a month. What do you have a certain date every month?
Yes, horror trivia. It's every second Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
All right, I will be looking at my schedule and putting some requests in for that. Another event I cannot wait for because right now it's January 24th as we're recording this, but Valentine's Day is coming up. That
Yeah.
I am very much looking forward to. What's happening on Valentine's Day at Transylvania Restaurant?
So guess what? Charles will be DJing.
What a surprise!
What a surprise. And then we have a masquerade ball. Every year we do a masquerade ball. It's very successful. People come dress up like everything that you can imagine. 1800s, everybody almost wears a mask. If you don't have a mask, we'll give you one. And it's already like 70% of the restaurant, it's already reserved. So we have like 30 something more seats. It's fun. People love it.
All right, well, I'm going to be reserving today then because I didn't think I had to reserve for that, but I'm going to do that just in case because I want to
Yeah.
make sure I get it. Now, I also heard there's a costume contest.
Yeah, we do every event that we have, like we have Halloween, we have also a summer win where we have Halloween in the summer. And again, we have that, but every event that we have, we do like prices for the custom. Sometimes it's wine, sometimes it's gift cards. Like we give prices for the best customs.
Right. So, what would you recommend for masquerade ball? I know we can. So I want to buy a costume, and I want to look. So I know the mask is good. I know what kind of mask I should wear, but like, what should I look for? Like maybe like a black. Because I saw it in the pictures, the guy's wearing like a suit with a bow tie, something like that, or that would be like the perfect costume for a masquerade ball.
Yeah, so I have a guy, for example, he's gonna be, because he looks, one of my customers, he looks just like Gary Oldman from Bram Stoker movie
Yeah.
1992. So he's gonna be like, I would definitely be Gary Oldman. I'm like, he looks so much. I heard that the first time when he stepped into the restaurant, I was like, Mr. Oldman, thank you so much for visiting today. And he started laughing. He's like, oh, I always get that. I'm like, oh my God, you look just like him.
As long as he doesn't look like Gary Oldman as Dracula.
Yeah, so people go crazy. Like for Halloween last year, I had this girl. She sew her costume for about 2 months. She turned herself into a huge bat. Like people do go crazy. Like they prepare. I'm gonna be a Victorian princess,
Ah, perfect for you. Now,
as I like the Victorian area.
does is your husband gonna get dressed up as well?
Yeah, he's gonna be a chef in
Oh.
the kitchen.
He's really getting out of that comfort zone, huh?
Yes, to make sure everybody eats and everybody's happy and everybody gets the food on time. So he's gonna be a chef, like he's all year round.
I love it. Now, another one I've already reserved. I cannot wait. Is Friday, March 13th. Friday the 13th. Big event's going to be happening at Transylvania Restaurant.
Yes, for the first time in forever, we were chosen by America's Best Restaurants.
Wow.
They're gonna come and film. They chose the day, March the 13th. It's a Friday because I guess nobody wanted the day, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is the perfect day for us! Thank you, guys, thank you." Because because they called me and they was like, I am so sorry to let you know, only Friday the 13th is available. I was like, oh my God, that was meant to be. That's amazing. Yes, thank you guys. And they were like, oh, okay, is that okay? I'm like, yeah, no, that's perfect. So they are coming Friday the 13th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Mhm.
Most probably they're gonna be other television coming or radio stations, or I don't know exactly who, because they're gonna contact 2 weeks in advance. They're gonna contact the press and America's Best Restaurant. They will be filming in the kitchen, and then they will take interviews from the customers.
All right. I'm all set. I'm hoping they come to my table. I'm ready. I'm
Yes.
always ready for my close up.
Yeah.
So that's Friday the 13th. And as I mentioned in the intro, not only is the restaurant an award-winning restaurant, but you are an award-winning entrepreneur. What did you win?
So I won top 100 Romanians in the world for 2024
Wow. So so
for business.
yeah, so how did they reached out to you because they knew what you were doing in
So
the
every
US?
year, every year, the Romanian consulates from all over the world, from different countries, they have to, they have to send a report to the Romanian consulate, like highlighting different people, different Romanians from their community, right? So it's either this time in 2024, I think they were like 10 or 12 different categories.
Hmm.
It's like medical, science, sports. So there were 7 people from around the world for the business category, and I was the only woman. So
Wow.
the consulate, they send this report to Romania, to the Romanian consulate in Romania, and then they choose 100 Romanians in the world. It's called the Ropatriot.
Wow, congratulations. So
Thank you.
so you won in 2024. Have you already did you go back to Romania and accept yeah, you have the trophy. I have a picture of you and I with
Yeah.
the trophy.
Oh my God, was one of the best. So first of all, I was like that there was 100, there were 300 people, 350 almost in the parliament building. I've never been in the parliament building in Romania. It's the second heaviest building in the world, has over 1,000 rooms. And you cannot go inside. You can go inside only if you were invited, right? So we had the vice president there. We had 20 televisions streaming live, and there were about 350 people. So I was mesmerized by how the parliament building looks inside, because I've never seen it inside, right? And I'm there looking, and I asked one of the girls at my table, I was like, they're not gonna call us on stage or something. She's like, oh no, there's 100 people. They're gonna call probably like 10, 12 people on stage. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So the next thing I hear is like, Yana, Alina, Caldaraiu, Transylvania Restaurant in USA. Please come on the stage. I'm like, oh my God, I had no speech. I had no nothing. I'm like, my mom was like, it's you. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I jumped on the stage with no speech, no nothing, and you have less than 1 minute to say what you need to say. And looking around, seeing 20 television streaming live, and I was shaking. And I just said, simple words that I wanted to introduce our food traditions, culture to Americans, and we are the only Romanian restaurant in the state of Connecticut. And my American dream was basically my Romanian dream.
Yep. Well, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that you brought it to Connecticut because like I said, if I could, I would be there morning, noon, and night because there's so many things going on. The food is so great. The atmosphere is the best. The customer service is out of this world. So I love what you're doing with that. Speaking of your
Thank
mother,
you.
I love this because I said I follow you on social media. I guess you and your mother went viral recently.
Yeah, I'm teaching my mother a little Romanian, a little English. I'm sorry. So we went viral playing around. She's learning English now because she's about to be a resident. We are waiting for the interview. So I was like, she speaks a little English, but not that good. I was like, now you're going to be a resident. Now you're going to have to learn English properly. So we were having a little bit of fun online.
She was, and then there was something in there where she mentioned some kind of food, and everybody came into the restaurant requesting the mama's meal.
Yes. Yes, the stuffed cabbage. She mentioned the stuffed cabbage, and in the night, everybody's like, "We want mama's food. We want mama's food." What's mama's food? And then from the video, I was like, oh, stuffed cabbage. We ran out of stuffed cabbage last night, though we had like 350 stuffed cabbage because we make them almost every day. We make everything fresh in the house. So mostly we make things in the morning, and then when we run out, we run out. But I was like, I asked my husband, I was like, how many? Oh, we have like 350 stuffed cabbages. And then by the
Plenty.
end of the we ran out. Everybody wanted mama's food. We want mama's food. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put it on the menu. Mama's cabbage.
It's in
Mama's famous
it's in
cabbage.
the menu. Yeah, now I have to name it because it's her recipe. I have to put it like both our moms are chefs, so a lot of the recipes are theirs.
Oh, really? So she's a chef as well?
Yes, they are both retired chefs. My mom was a chef and pastry chef, and my mother-in-law was a chef.
Did they have a restaurant in Romania?
No, but
Oh,
they worked in restaurants before they got retired. They are both retired now.
I want to. How is the Transylvania economy doing? Because the reason I'm bringing this up, when I went there in 2005, I remember there was a woman from Canada. She and I were talking about the economy in America, economy in Canada. So there was somebody who was working at the in Dracula's castle said, "Oh, the economy's bad." I'm like, "It's not really doing it well." I said, "Well, how much do you make?" He said, $5. I said, "What, $5 an hour?" He goes, "No, $5 a day." I said, "I'm gonna stop complaining right now." So is it? I mean, I can say one thing for sure that it seemed like everything was much cheaper than it is in the U.S. But
Yeah.
does the pay and what they pay people in Transylvania, Romania, equate what things cost?
So the situation is much different. Romanian economy is booming. I'm from Transylvania, so Transylvania is the most developed economic part of Romania.
Are good.
It's insane. Like between the tourism and it's insane. It's not how it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But the problem is in Romania, it's still a big problem. Is the people like my mom's age, right? That they lived most of their lives through communism, and they have a really small pension. So a lot of them they cannot really afford medicine, or they cannot really afford like too much food. So I see a lot of the oldest generation like in the streets. Like when I was in Romania in 2022, they are like selling things from the garden. They have like a small thing in front of their house. Like they most older people, like the retired people, they cannot live with the money that they have in Romania. Now, that being said, my generation is making a lot of money because Romanians are very good in math and informatics. So a lot of them they work for outside companies, right? They work for Switzerland, they work for America, they work for UK, they work online. So they make 5,000, 6,000, $7,000 a month, which for Romania it's a lot.
Yeah.
So my age is doing much better.
Oh, good.
My generation is doing much better. And then Romania gets a lot of money from tourism. There's like about, I think, 1.5 million tourists that only visit Dracula's castle. But it's expanding a lot. Like people like Charles tour, right, to Romania. It's like all over Transylvania. So a lot of people now are more, willing to go beyond the castle. They realize it's not all about the castle.
Yeah.
Transylvania is really outstanding.
Oh my God, it was so beautiful. And I'm gonna probably
I
mispronounce
cannot
it.
imagine 2005. Oh my God, that must be bad.
It was definitely different, but what I
Yeah,
wanted to make the comment was that you're right. More than the castle, I'm gonna probably mispronounce it, but is it called the Carpathian Mountains?
Carpathian Mountains, yeah.
Yeah, that was so beautiful, and the whole I wanted to see more than what I mean. I love history, I love horror movies, and that was a great tour for 10 days, and I loved it. But I'm also looking like I would love to go over there. I would love to. There are a lot of things that I saw, and I'm so glad that it is booming now. I heard a couple. I mean, might be more than a couple years ago that they were thinking of turning Dracula's castle into more of like an amusement park type thing, and Transylvania said, "No, we're not doing that." Is that true?
No, they are actually building an amusement park, but it's going to be near Bucharest. They are investing more than $1 billion. It's going to be
Wow.
called the Dracula Land, and it's
Good.
going to be ready in 2027.
All right. Well, I'm very happy for that. Now, with the older people, like your parents and people's grandparents, do they have, like we do in the U.S., a 401k or a pension? Nothing at all?
They have a pension, but it's little. Like,
Yeah.
if my mom would have to live with her pension, um, it it wouldn't be enough for, I don't know. So my mom gets $500 a month. Only
Okay.
the food probably is like 400. Probably
Oh,
the food for her would be like $100 a week, right?
yeah.
So, uh, look, she's a special case because she hasn't lived with that money. So there is a lot of people in Romania that their kids are working outside. Actually, Romania has the biggest migration population. There's 19 million Romanians living in Romania, and there's almost 10 million Romanians living outside of Romania.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
You said Transylvania is the most booming right now of that
Yes,
area? Yeah.
Transylvania was all, though Valahia, I call it Valahia, right? The south of
Yeah.
Romania, which is Muntenia today, Bucharest, and that's also, very touristic and very developed. Moldova is the only one who's, not so developed. It's like the poor part of Romania.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's the poor part of Romania, but also has a lot of nature, right? Yeah, like you go to Moldova, you think like you go 100 years back, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of nature, is a lot of villages are untouched. They look like they looked 100 years ago. It's nice, and Moldova has a lot of like monasteries, which a lot of people do the Moldovan monasteries tour.
Yeah. Is that the one where like where supposedly one time they thought Dracula or Vlad's bones were, then they found out it was just cat and dog bones or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
remember
not his real bones, no.
yeah, but
No.
I remember we had to take a boat out there. Is that like one of the
Yes.
tours that you're talking about?
No, that's like since they found out that the Dracula's bones are not there, it's not that,
Uh,
that interesting anymore. So people still go there, but not as much as they used to.
do they still have a lot of gypsies? Because I remember I saw a lot of gypsies and they were so nice. They were selling things and just talking to them for a while. It was so interesting hearing their story.
Some of them are nice, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Maybe since I was only there for a couple days, I had a better experience. You living
Yeah,
there for years probably maybe didn't have the best experience.
yeah.
Do
I
they have,
mean, I can say like, like every other, some of them are nice. Like I have gypsy friend. I have a lot of gypsy friends. They do sell a lot of stuff. They do also a lot of, like you would call it here, witchcraft, where they,
yeah.
read your palm. And I do it more for fun. Like,
Oh
but
yeah.
a lot of people like that, especially the tourists. They like that. Like, they will go to Romania and they will be gypsies saying like, "Oh, I'm going to tell your future. I'm going to read your palm." And Americans are very curious, and a lot of them they like to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was just telling somebody this story yesterday because I'm very interested in the paranormal. I'm very interested in mediums and psychics. So in the U.S., they do a lot of this stuff, especially like like on say the Atlantic City Strip and things like that. In New York. My friends and I like, oh, we should go to a psychic. So we went there. One of our friends was getting a reading. So another friend and I were sitting outside, and I'm just making a joke saying, Christine, come on, I know we can make this work. Come on, give me another chance. She goes, shut up, Rich, shut up. I said, Christine, please, you know how much I love you. And she goes, shut up. So when she went into the psych goes, I see you have relationship problems. Like, she's a phony. All she was overhearing what I was saying. And she goes, you ruined my reading. I said, no, I actually helped you because now we found out that she's a phony. Everything she says is fake. So yeah, there's a lot of people who do it for entertainment value, but I think that there are people who really do have that kind of
Oh yeah,
psychic ability. Yeah.
we had Tracy for about 2 years in Transylvania every last Thursday of the month. She did reading. She was amazing. And then now, for the first time, we have Patricia. I don't personally know her. This is the first time when she's coming, but I'm excited. So she's coming on January 29th. So she's going to be doing a reading. But no, I've been, since I opened the restaurant, almost every month we had a reading. So honestly, I do believe in that.
Yeah.
I do believe in that.
Oh yeah, no, me too. I think most of the people that do it for fun, that do it like who are trying to make money, those are the ones that are charlatans and just like trying to like make a fast buck. But the people that really don't brag about it or don't really do it for maybe not a lot of money, just
Yeah.
want to help people. Those are the ones that really have the ability. Because I went to one in I used to do comedy for a while, and I did a comedy show in Newport. And so I went to check the place out, and there was a psychic there, and he was saying things that the woman started crying. She goes, "How'd you?" Because the guy goes, "Somebody here murdered somebody." I'm like, what? What? And I found out that the woman's there. Her son was defending himself. He shot somebody in self-defense, and he was in jail for. But like, she goes, "No, nobody knew that." And it was like
Yeah.
he said a lot of other things that everybody thought was a secret to just them, and only they knew. But it was, yeah, that I believe he had some kind of ability with that. And I've seen people like that, but other people. So I definitely want to check yours out. January 29th, you said. Let me add that to my
Yeah.
calendar. My whole
Yeah, you
my,
have to add another event, Rich.
my whole calendar's would be like Transylvania, 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 Transylvania.
I had somebody last night. It's a couple who comes to the trivia. Usually, I see them like once a month to trivia, and they came for dinner last night. And she was like, "Oh, we missed trivia last time, but I need to make 12 reservations." And I thought she's joking. I said, "I'm sorry, what?" She's like, "No, no, no. I need to make." So I work with open table, thank God. And I took out the tablet, and she was like, "No, I need to make 12 reservations." And she made the reservation for the 13th, for 8, for the masquerade, for trivia, for bingo, for I don't know. It goes like up to July when she has her son's birthday or something like that. And I was there for them. They said we want to be here all the time. We want to be here all the time. But they are part of the horror family, so I see them a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. Well, I definitely want to be part of the family if I can make it more. I'm just gonna have
Yeah.
to take a leave of absence from work and just say, you know what,
You
I need
have to
about three
meet
months off.
everybody. You will fit right in. I'm telling you, you will fit perfectly in. All of them are like funny and they love horror movies, and you will be like
Yeah,
perfect for them.
I'm gonna be looking at my schedule. You're gonna see me next time. I promise you that. I can't wait.
Awesome. I'm gonna see you sooner than that.
Oh yeah, well you see me in a couple hours. Right
Yeah.
after we finish this, I'm gonna be getting ready to go to Transylvania. Um, and in my research, I found out that you in the last year you grew over 40% last year, and I'm looking at that what you're wearing. I love that. So now you have an online store to promote the restaurant.
Yes, we have a Transylvania brand right now. We have a brand. We have different collections. We have an online store and we have a store in Transylvania. We have the Transylvania brand. Then we have the Foolish Mortar collection.
Mhm.
We have the Little Monsters collection. We had the Christmas collection, and now we are waiting for Valentine's collection. I come up with the lines. This is
Yep.
just the Transylvania, but I come up with the lines, and the guy that I told you about, Saul, is helping me with creating the designs. So I'm very excited about the Valentine's because some of the lines is like I never ghost you. I love you to pieces. And there is a guy with a knife.
Yeah, I love that. And I appreciate you. You gave me a hoodie last time I was there. I love that hoodie. I love the design. And you were actually helping me out with this podcast. You took my phone. You're like, Rich, look at this. What do you want? Vintage? And then within
Yeah.
2 seconds, I had a new logo for Claw's Corner. And I have been getting so many great responses from that logo. Everybody's like, oh my God, this is so cool. I love this. I love this. So, was it? I think it's Google Gemini, you called it.
Google Gemini. So I'm like a little FBI online. Like I always try to find like things to ease my life, right? So I make a lot of the designs and the flyers, and I use Google Gemini. I use Ideogram. I use ChatGPT, not so much anymore, but I try to use AI as much as I can. I think for me, AI was a game changer. And I want to help other people. Actually, I told Saul that I want to gather some, entrepreneurs at my restaurant so he can give them like a free intro of AI, like how they can help their business in their case with the AIs, because I think for us it work, and I want to help as many people as I can because AI is a game changer. And I think like every business owner should take advantage of it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, if you have time tonight, not that I just want to I want you to show me again exactly what you did because I tried
Yeah.
typed in Google Gemini and for some reason I didn't get what you. I typed in Claude's Corner and somebody goes, "It sounds like a brand or something like that." Like when I the answer I got back, so I'm not sure exactly what I need to click on.
I
So I
show
want to
you.
try.
You just have to be very specific.
Yeah.
You have to like Google Gemini. In my opinion, is like a little toddler, like my kids. I have to be very specific with the instructions, because he's gonna ask you, "What do you want to do?" So then you have to tell him, like that picture with me. When I'm like shoveling, I
Yeah.
actually ask, put a mountain of snow in front of me, put a shovel in my hand. So you have to be very specific with what you're asking. But it's a great tool and it's free, and everybody can use it. You're a business owner or not, but it's a game changer. And
Yeah.
that's the easy one. Like, I mean, there's a lot of AIs. Like, for example, we have in Transylvania, we probably are the first restaurant to have an interactive AI. So actually we bought Vlad to life. We have Vlad in the restaurant. It's an AI that can see you.
I love it.
He can see you. Yeah, he speaks Romanian and English. He can help you with questions about the menu, questions about Romanian geography. Like, let's say you want to go to Romania, you can ask him what should you visit. You can ask him things about the menu, or like what should I order. It's great. He was in training for 3 months. So, for example, when you ask him what should you order, he's connected with my sales in the past, so he can see what's the most ordered items, and he also can give a description of the item.
All right. And this is you said this is in the restaurant. You can do this.
Yeah, yeah,
I
we
must
have.
have missed it last time.
Yeah, we have. Maybe he was asleep. Sometimes he sleeps during the day.
Oh yeah, I have to come later at night. So when Vlad's,
Yeah.
his business hours.
Yes, exactly. He's a vampire after all. So as soon as the night goes down, he comes back to life. You're gonna be able to awake him.
All right, I will definitely harass him later on today.
Yeah, we love Vlad. So that's the thing, because while people wait for the food, they just go and talk to Vlad.
All right, well,
And it's funny, like, he shows up and he says like, what's your name, beautiful princess from the Carpathians? Yeah.
that
We
is.
we we used Vlad's vocabulary from the 15th century.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned Vlad because I want to talk about this. Because as I mentioned to you last week when I was at the restaurant, I said when I went there, the younger people are like, "Oh my God, Vlad is crazy. He's nuts. He's out of control. He was a maniac." But then the
Yeah.
older people said, "Vlad, he was the only one that saved us from the invading Turks. We have like we hope he comes back in another form." It's like they revere him. So, what is your take on Vlad Dracula?
So that's why I'm writing the book. I want people to
Uh,
know.
okay.
That's why I opened the restaurant. But Dracula for Romanians, Dracula, Vlad the Impaler for Romanians is considered to be a national hero.
Yes.
To understand Vlad, you have to understand the times. So this is how my book starts with the times.
Yeah.
You can understand the person if you don't understand the times where he was living. So he went through a lot. Like, in real life, he was offered by his dad as a guarantee to the Turks, to the Ottomans. While he was in the Ottoman Empire, he was also, they gave him like, he had like professors and teachers, so he learned a lot of stuff. But he was also beaten on a daily basis. He was also raped. Um, he had a very tough life from 11 until 17. Well, when he took the throne of Wallachia, Vlad was actually paying the tribute to the Ottomans. Like, he was paying the tribute to the Ottomans. Everything was great until the Ottomans came and they said, and they did this not only with Transylvania, they did this all over Europe at that time. They used to go to different countries and get all the boys aged between 8 and 18. They will basically rape your kid. They will take your kids away. This is how they formed their army. So when they came to Vlad and they said, okay, we need all the Wallachian kids between 8 and 18, including yours, because Vlad's child was about 8 or 10 at that, I don't know, 8, I think. I don't remember how old he was. But then is when Vlad went mad. I mean, if if you're a parent and somebody comes and says like, "Oh, I want your kid," and I want everybody's as kids. Like his job was to protect Wallachia. He was the prince of Wallachia, right? So his job was to protect the people. And where people went crazy when they heard that they're gonna come to their houses and take the kids away and take them to the Ottoman Empire. And Vlad was in the Ottoman Empire. He knew what's expected for them there, right? So that's when he went nuts and he swore that he's gonna protect Wallachia and Wallachian kids no matter what.
Yeah.
So as he was definitely mentally disturbed considering everything that he went through, but he was what he did for Wallachia, for his country, like the war tactics, right? They are still studied today.
Hmm.
Like the psychological war tactics that he used 500 years ago, more than 500, they are still studied today.
Yep.
So he was a very smart man. He actually knew 8 languages,
Wow.
and he was riding horses since he was 5 years old.
Wow. Yeah, I read a biography on him years ago. It was right around the time when I was going to Romania and I wanted to have the history of it, and that was so interesting. And talking about the war tactics, I remember this so clearly because I guess when the Turks were invading, their army was twice the size of his, but
No,
then
5 times.
5 times. Okay. So then when they saw what he was doing, they're like, yeah, we gotta go. They saw like how crazy. Didn't he poisoned the water, burned
Yes.
things down, and then they're like, this guy is nuts. We're out of here. And I want your opinion on this because they said like they're not really sure. Maybe you know more than what I read, but they think they were trying to figure out like how he was actually murdered because I guess what he used to do was he used to take people with diseases, put their
Yes.
uniform on, and put them into, and then they would infect the whole army. But then he was, I guess, one time this was a theory that he dressed in the enemy's uniform and he was just admiring the carnage, and then they thought it was somebody else and they killed him. Or another one was that his own people killed him because they didn't like him. What was
Yeah.
the? Did they ever find out for certain what happened to him, or is
Yeah.
a lot of theories?
So it's two different events that what you're talking about. The one is the midnight attack that happened actually on my birthday, June 16,
Ah,
when he dressed up as Ottoman, and not only him, he dressed up a lot of his people as Ottomans, and he attacked in the middle of the night, trying to find the Sultan's tent. He couldn't though; he missed that night, so they had to leave. But what happened, the real story is that he was imprisoned by Matyas Corvin, the Hungarian king, that he was in charge of Transylvania at that point. Transylvania and Wallachia were two different countries.
mhm.
So, the story said that he was imprisoned, they were trying to harm him. It's not true. Matyas Corvin was his friend, so he imprisoned him for like 17 years to keep him away from the boyars. The boyars always wanted to kill him. So I'll put that in my story.
Okay.
The reason why the boyars, there were several reasons, but that's not gonna be in my story. Why the boyars were like so, why they hated him so much. And Matyas Corvin kept him away from the boyars. Well, when he returned to Transylvania, um, he was betrayed. He was betrayed by every single person that you can imagine. So he was
Yep.
captured in the woods. And then after that, we don't know exactly how he died. They say that probably he died right there in the woods. So the Ottomans sent his head to the Turks, to
Mhm.
the Mehmed, but the body was never found.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I read that, and I wasn't sure exactly what was true. And it's
Yeah.
been so long since I've read it, so I wanted to get the details on that. So when does your book come out?
I don't know. I'm on chapter 3.
Wow. Wow. Well, yeah. Now this is going to be. I mean, he has such an interesting story, and so I'm sure it's going to be a long book.
I don't want to make it very long, but
Yeah.
I want to present the real Dracula. Like I want to present him in the light how Romanians see him.
Oh yeah.
If you read McCartney, he's saying Dracula, the Prince of Many Faces.
That's the one I read. I think. Is that the
Yeah,
one with the? It's got like the portrait of Vlad on it, the black
yeah,
cover. Yep, that's the one I
yes.
read.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was one of the books that inspired me to write the real story of Dracula. But like I said, to understand the person, you have to understand the times.
Oh, yeah. Well, exactly, because I'm going to use one name that I could think of from that time, Genghis Khan. He was out of his
Yeah.
mind, but again, maybe he wasn't if you know the story. And that time, that's how all the leaders were. That's how everybody was. It was much more barbaric time. And like when people say, "Oh, if I was living in that time, I'd be doing this." No, you would be doing exactly what they were doing at that time. You can't say like, "Oh, if I was born in the '60s, I would say." No, I'm not going to say that. Like you probably would because that's how you were brought up and that's how you were what you were used to. So I agree with you.
No,
And
I like to ask people like, oh, if I live this time, I'm asking one single question. If you lived at that time and you were a parent,
yep, exactly.
because if you ask me if I would live in that times and I had kids, I would have done everything in my power to protect them.
Hmm. Yeah. No,
And
I
I
know.
guess that's in every person.
I think sometimes when people are like we're in a nice warm apartment or house and they're
Mhm.
comfortable and they're like, "Oh, I would do this." No, you wouldn't. If you were just like you said, protecting your family or living in those times, you would do exactly what you have to do to survive. And I agree with that. One thing I did notice, and now the way Transylvania is spelled, is that the Romanian spelling? Because I know
Yes.
when there's a Y when they spell it in America or in the
Yeah,
US.
so both names are correct. Honestly, I spell it the Romanian way because marketing wise, I knew that every single American will correct me. So what I did before I opened Transylvania, first thing I put the sign on the building,
Yeah.
and I made a post that we're gonna open Transylvania and everything. And I had at least 500 people reach out in the first 2 months to
Oh
let me
my
know that I spell it wrong. And I knew
That's
that's gonna happen. So I made it like first me and my husband are from Transylvania, so this is how we spell the name in Transylvania. But every single American corrected me. It's like, I'm sorry, you had the name wrong. So I was like, oh, hi, how are you? We are opening Transylvania restaurant. Have you ever had Romanian food? So it's a conversational starter.
you are a marketing genius. I love it.
Thank you. I love how many people correct me. Every single person feels the needs to. I'm sorry, I just wanted to let you spell Transylvania.
Oh,
And I'm like, hi, how are you? Have you ever visited us? Actually, both names are correct.
that is funny. It's like I know I hate when people like, oh, you've only lived in Romania your whole life, so or Transylvania, you have no idea like how it's really spelled. Oh, sorry, it was a typo. It's like no, it wasn't. That's how they spell it over there.
Yeah, I love it because you know how many people came to the restaurant because we started the conversation like that because
Yep.
they corrected me and then they started to be intrigued and I was like, oh my god, you know what? I have to come there. Oh, I didn't know that. Or they asked me things about history. I got a lot of people in the restaurant because they corrected my name. I love it when they corrected my name. It's a conversational starter.
Oh yeah, you are so great at that. So, what do you have planned for 2026? I mean, 2025 was booming, 40% up in sales from last year, and I'm sure next year is going to be even bigger, better, and
I am so optimistic. I've always maybe a little too optimistic, but this time I want to double the sales between the restaurant and the events and the Transylvania brand and the book. I sold around 170 books so far.
wow.
So
That,
yeah, for me that's something, and it's the best thing in the world is that I get pictures or videos from these parents reading the books to their kids. That's like, oh my God, I have three little kids. So that melts my heart. Like every night, somebody's sending me a picture or a video saying, like, oh my God, my kid loves your kids. And I sign it with the kid's name. Every book that they buy, I sign it with the kid's name. And I always say, always be brave. And
yep.
they love that.
Oh yeah. Well, just the night that I was there last week, I think I saw you sold one to me. You sold one to the table next to us. I think I
Yeah.
saw you selling another one. So I mean, I saw at least three sales just in the 45 minutes I was there. So
People
it's
love it. It's short. The characters are big, are colorful. The letters are big. It's easy to read.
yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Just one more time for everybody. You got to get it.
Yeah.
Vladdy and Batty Quest. I said, and you can appreciate it, like especially like you said, if you have kids, you read to your kids. But I think that has a great message for adults too. It's like get out of your comfort zone, stop being so predictable. Just go, have fun, enjoy your life. Don't be afraid, have courage.
I always tell people, I like, one of my goals is to inspire as many people to go in business. And when I hear like, oh, I don't have money, it's not about money. Just find a way. My account was actually negative when I was negotiating the lease. And my husband told me, like, what are you doing there? Like, why are you going there? The ex, we were partners in a coffee shop chain, and the guy stole everything away from us,
Oh,
and he left us with no jobs because we were with him, right?
yeah.
So it was a very tough time. But that time I was negotiating the lease, and my husband was like, "Why are you going there? We have no money." I'm like, "I don't know. I just I just want to open Transylvania." And then I would say this to everybody: if you ask for help, people will do anything they can to help you. It's our problem as people is we don't ask for help.
Yeah.
If you come and say like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but you actually ask people, not necessarily for money, you ask them, oh, can you help me? What I did, like, I have friends, they are constructors. I said, can you help me build the bar, and then I'll pay you after. I have people that they sell kitchen equipment. I was like, I have no money. Can you, I don't know, give me the equipment? We're gonna make a contract, and then I'm gonna pay you every week a certain amount of money. I had almost no money when I opened. I had only borrowed money.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask for help, I think people are most people will help you somehow. So what I did, I asked for help. So I tell everybody, and even though it's very hard for me to ask for help,
Yeah.
but every time I was thinking, if I open Transylvania, I'm going to create jobs for other people. I'm going to introduce my culture. Like, my goal was very big. So I had to put my pride on the side.
Yep.
And I went out there and I asked every single person that I could. I was like, can you help me with this? Can you help me with the graphic of the menus? A lot of people helped us before
Yep.
to
Yep.
make this happen. So I'm forever grateful to these people.
I just want to say exactly what almost something similar happened to me with this podcast. I want to give a couple of shout outs because first I was when I came out with my own book, which you can find on Amazon, Confessions of a Frenetic Mind. It's like 5 short stories. I was doing interviews on different radio stations, and I was talking to the DJ, and I said, I have somebody who'd like to be on the show. He goes, well, do you want to interview him? I said, yeah, why not? So then afterwards, he wanted me to interview somebody else. He said, want to take over the radio show? I said, yes. So I took over the radio show. My last guest at the radio station, which was in Torrington, Connecticut, it was like February of 2020. So COVID hit in March 2020.
Wow.
We were talking. He goes, oh, Rich, man, you and I have a lot in common. We should do a show together. I said, all right, let's do a show together. The next month it hit. He goes, you know what? Let me help you out. I'm going to put the show on YouTube. If you want to do Claw's Corner still, I'll edit that show as well. His name is John Bristol. I really do appreciate that. So then I went to a Twilight Zone convention, and I was talking to this kid, and he goes, oh, man, you're like one of the coolest people I ever met. He goes, without even me saying anything, he goes, do you mind if I help you put it on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio? I'm like, I would love that. He goes, man, I just want to help you out. I said, I don't want any money. I just want to help you out. I said, well, thank you. Then I was at a restaurant, some guy that I used to do a public access show years ago. He remembered me. He goes, what are you up to now? So I told him, he goes, I'll air your show on I own the studio now. I'm going to air your show on a couple different cable stations. I'm like, thank you very much. So without even me asking, just me mentioning what I was doing and what I wanted to do with the show, people are like, I would love to help you. So yeah, you're right. People would love to help.
You have to have the right attitude. You have to have the right thoughts. Like, you cannot go ask somebody for help thinking like, oh, they're not going to help me. You
Yeah.
have to feel like, your thoughts create your reality. So when I ask somebody, I'm really thinking, oh, they're going to help me. They're going to help me with this. And I help a lot of other people in different way, because I believe, like, people help you, and then you have to help other people. It's like there's no bigger satisfaction when you help somebody with something. Maybe you change somebody's life with, I don't know, a few words or a few things that you do. So we, even in Transylvania, I do think that we really, maybe it sounds like corny, but we do change people's lives. It's like, we have this lady that she used to come at the beginning for the horror trivia, where her husband is sick. He doesn't like horror. She was like kind of stuck in the house with him, and then she started to come to the horror things. And this lady, she got like younger. Like every time I see her, she lost weight. She looks amazing. And
I love it.
I met her husband last month, I think in December. He was finally able to come to the restaurant, and he said, did you know that you changed our relationship and you changed my wife's life? Because now she has the horror people and she's happy to go out with them, though I can't because he's sick, so he can't really go out with them, and he's not a horror fan. And he's like, not even that you saved her, like, she's happier, but you saved our relationship because they had disagreements
Yeah.
and stuff like that based. But he's like, now every time when she comes from here, she's happy. I have another guy who's like, every time is like, oh my god, you saved my relationship. Every time when I have a fight with my wife, I look at her and I say, honey, would you like a black cherry margarita from Transylvania? And she will be like, okay, let's go, but I'm not talking to you.
Next time I have you in the show, I'm going to add marriage counselor to the the things you do. I love it.
If you give them like things to do, like in Transylvania, something happening all the time, and I love like how people start talking to other tables. Picture that Transylvania is like a mix, right, of everybody. I have Eastern Europeans, South Americans, Americans, Indians, Africans, people coming from different backgrounds, different culture. Well, I love when they start talking to each other. I love it when they start, like I had the guy now, oh, well, I'm from Kenya. Oh my God, I love this dessert. Like I've never had anything like this. And the other guys are like, oh, I'm from Germany. We always make that. And then they start talking to each other. That's my, so it's a place. I think Transylvania is a place where you like transport in time and you can be happy and understand and
Yep.
experience other people, other culture. Like it's crazy. Everybody talks. It's not the typical restaurant where you go and eat. Everybody talks to everybody. Kids go from one table to another. Parents they move to a different table. Everybody's like
Yeah. It's like
talking.
Transylvania restaurant where strangers become family. I love it.
Yes, yeah, we are family. We are a family now. I don't see them as stranger. Like my customers, I know them. I know their kids. I know their friends. I know their sisters.
Yeah.
It's like coming to my house. This is how I see it. Like friends coming to my house, and then I introduce them to other friends, and then we have a big party.
Plus, I think it's so great, as you mentioned, like people from all over different parts of the world. Then, because once you realize, like, because most people's view is they have the blinders on. They're like, oh, the U.S. is the best in the world. It's like, well, have you ever been anywhere else? Have you ever seen? Like, my favorite quote is from Mark Twain. It's like, travel is fatal to prejudice, and it's so true. You go out to all
Yeah.
these other countries. It's not what you see on TV. It's nothing like what you see on TV. You actually talk to people, and they're just like us. They have the same needs as us, the same wants as us. So they're not that different, that much different at all. And then they see them on TV, and you're like, oh my God, this is horrible. I would never want to go there. I would never want to talk to these people. Like, no, they want the same things we do. So I love the fact that all these different people from different cultures are coming together and talking and learning about different cultures. And you're doing so much more than just feeding people. I
We
love that.
have, yeah, we have a table actually. We didn't know. So we had a party of Ukrainians and a party of Russians.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
didn't know. So I put the tables, they were very close to each other. So then the Ukrainians came to me. Well, I'm 20% Ukrainian too. So I have a lot of Ukrainian friends. So the
Yeah.
Ukrainians came to me and they said, I mean, this is, crazy. You put us next to the Russian. And I said, I am so sorry about that. But I said, listen, the war is not here.
Mhm.
The war is not here. By the end of the night, oh my God, the Ukrainians were dancing with the Russians. Everybody was like, I put Ukrainian music and then I put, Russian music, and then they were changing the phone numbers. Because you guys didn't start the war. I went to the table and I talked to them and I was like, guys, you didn't start this war, right? It's not your fault or your fault. It's like, you're just supporting the consequences. But I was like, let's have fun.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night they were literally dancing, and that for me was a moment that honestly I will never forget.
I love that story because it's so true.
Yeah.
It's like, do you think most people want nothing to do with what Putin's doing, and they don't support it all, but they can't if they say something, like you said before, protecting your family. If they speak out, they're going to be killed, so they can't
Yeah.
really say how they really feel. So when people are just automatically prejudiced against other people, like, no, what do they have to do with this war? They're in the U.S. They have nothing to do. They're not supporting it. So just yeah, but they're people.
Yeah, so
That's a great story.
that was a moment when I was like literally I was crying at one point. I'm looking around, they were dancing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cute. You came warriors and you wanted to fight each other, and you left friends. They were exchanging numbers. Yeah.
That is perfect. So where can people find you and what like where can they find your merchandise? Where can they I know the restaurant we have I'll put the address on the screens. Was it 23 Main Street in East
East
Haven?
Haven, yeah.
Yep.
Now we have a store there. We have a store online on Transylvania City, as in Connecticut.com. We have the store on Instagram. I would say if people follow us on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, they can find about the events. I always post the new collections. We also have the new collection, but online we have way more products, different colors. In the store, I have like a couple of hundred, but online probably I have like 4,000.
Wow. And what how if you just type in Transylvania restaurant for Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok,
In
you'll
or
find.
Yeah, and even if you go on my website, we have a special button where it says store. So then you can shop on collection. You have the Foolish Mortal collection, the Christmas collection, Little Monsters collection.
Well, I love it. And what is the website?
Transylvania, the Romanian spelling.
Yep, with the I.
Transylvania. Yeah.
Even though she spelled it incorrectly, everybody.
Yeah. City, as in Connecticut, transylvaniacity.com.
I love it. Okay, Transylvania, was it transylvaniacity.com?
CT, as in Connecticut.
Oh, CT. Transylvania.
City.
Yeah, see,
Cat.
I thought you said city. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
TransylvaniaCT.com. All right,
Yeah.
I'll be checking that website. Like I said, I follow you on social media all the time. I love all the posts. I love all different things that you're on.
Thank you.
So before we go, is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't discussed?
No, I just want to invite everybody to try the Romanian experience and to try our restaurant. And I promise you, we're gonna have a hell of a time.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I've been there several times, and she is 100,000% correct. I've always, and I gotta tell you, like I brought my friend Doug last time, and he is one of these
Oh, we
people.
love Dog. He
Yeah,
was so cute.
it was so funny because like he normally is a person who's like, I don't like this, I don't like that. After he goes, Rich man, that was so much fun. Alina is the best. She's hilarious. He goes, I love this, and he and his girlfriend don't really like to go out or do things. He goes, I really want to go to that masquerade ball. You had him so hyped up that he wanted to go, and he was going to
Yeah,
ask
he's
her.
gonna love it.
Yeah, so like it's just so you bring people, you bring the best out of people. That's what I love about you, because he normally would be like, yeah, this is good, but he was like raving about it. He goes, oh my God, Alina's so much fun. The food was great. I really want to go to this. So I want to come back here. I said, well, just you know where it is.
Yeah, I'm so happy. He was so cute.
Oh yeah, he loved it. Well, Alina, it's so great to have you on the show again, and I definitely want to have you on the show when you come out with the book because the history of Vlad is so interesting, and I haven't really,
Definitely.
like I said, it's been about 2005 since I last read that book, the Prince of Many Faces, and so I want to refresh my memory with your book, and I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to
I can
reading it.
wait.
Yep. So before we go, it's like how do you pronounce your last? Is it Caldaraiu?
It's a long one that it's so long that it's taking years of my life. So that's why I prefer to use my maiden name, which is Duma, because it's easier. But my name is Caldaraiu. Yeah.
Caldaraiu. Okay, I'm gonna for the outro, I'll just say Alina C. 'Cause,
Yes, Alina C. A lot of people say Alina C or Alina Duma. That's why I put Duma on the book
yeah.
to be easier for kids. And I'm using my maiden name a lot just for because it's shorter, way shorter.
Yeah. Well, Alina, I will be seeing you in a couple hours. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to being at many more events and enjoying a lot more food.
Thank you so much, Rich. This was such a pleasure. I'll see you tonight. Thank you, guys.
Yep. That wraps up the latest episode of the Claus Corner. A huge thanks goes out to award-winning entrepreneur, author, and the queen of marketing, Alina C., for taking time out of her extremely busy schedule to be a guest on my show. Thank you very much, Alina. I'll see you later. I also need to thank editor extraordinaire John Bristol of the award-winning Elman Productions for always doing a superb job editing this show each and every week and making it available to all on YouTube. I am also extremely grateful to Rob Bull and Dal Coles for all they do to make my show available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, as well as a cable station in Connecticut. And lastly, but definitely not least, I need to thank you, the viewer, for always tuning in. Enjoy your day, everyone.